This video was going to show you how I did the cineprint 16 for photos. So I shoot on RAW, but what I do in post is here's my RAW file, right? And I'll put the white balance, I'll correct the white balance to auto, just for a general, and then put my contrast all the way down because I'm trying to get a pretty flat image just for this. And then look at my exposure. So my exposure is good right here. I think I could put it maybe a little darker like that. And then you want to make sure your highlights aren't blown out, which none of mine are. Mine aren't good right here. Okay, so now this is the most important part, how you export. So you're going to export. I'm using Lightroom Classic. So export as a TIFF in sRGB as a 16-bit. So 16-bit TIFF in sRGB. You don't have to do the HDR output, but just export this. And then in DaVinci Resolve, right? I have mine already set to a, let me get rid of this. I have mine already set to a 9 by 16 frame. And the way you do that is, actually, I'm not going to go into how to do that. I'm just trying to show you this. So then go ahead and grab your picture and plop it into DaVinci. Put this like this in here. And now we go into the color node. So you want to get your power grade and yeah, hold on. Your cineprint 16 power grade right here. And just drag it in. Oop. Oop, crap. Hold on. Just like that. And I take off the blur and grain and sharpen just so that it's kind of, we don't, because if you don't have the premium version, you can't use grain. So this is how it looks right now. It's really, really bad. So you got to go into your CST node up here and click this FX. And then as your input color space and input gamma, you just want to put sRGB like this, sRGB on both. And now you can see that the image is a little better. It's really flat though, and kind of overexposed. So I always go into my pre-contrast and just put this up to wherever. I put it up to like 1,000 right here, or 1, and that looks better. And then I'll do my exposure and bring it down a bit because it is really bright. Right there. There we go. Now see, we're getting a really nice image. And, most of the time people complain about this and they're like, oh, well, I'm not getting the right colors. It's because your image is blown out. So you got to really make sure your image is properly exposed on this, right? So I use these nodes, these first two on this top, not this pre-contrast. But the post-contrast is really nice because we already have the contrast we want, right? But I do think it looks kind of dark. So you can use this pivot and bring it up just a little bit. And look at that. That looks great. So we got really nice here. And now you can choose between Cineon or print film, whichever you like. I think we'll do print film for this one. And then we have a bunch of extra stuff here that we can put. So endpoints, this is going to add a little bit, it's going to kind of roll off to the shadows. Here you can see how that looks, which I like. I always put that on and then make it a little warmer. I like the warmer because it kind of adds a bit of a dreamy. And then this highlight soft, which is very, very subtle, but it really does good. So now you're going to see here on her shoes that there's a lot of halation. You can see that her shoes practically glowing, right? So what you want to put is go up here to the halation node, double click it, and go into this blur up here, right? And then go to this one where it's kind of like this triangle and this dot. And your radius, you want to bring it down just a little bit. So now you can see her foot here isn't like crazy glowing like it was. Okay. And that's pretty much it. That's how I leave it. That's a good image for me. I can go into my lab sat and see how that looks. Add a little bit more saturation. I like that. And then here's this lab mix L, and you can see how much that changes the image. I don't like the this, or sometimes I'll do this one. But yeah, that's the image. And then to export, um, I just double click here and I put grab still, and then I'll go over to my, okay, well, you're supposed to do the grab still in the stills tab. If you do it in this power grade part, it's going to save it as a power grade, but it's the same thing. So then I'll click this and then export. And since I already have this huge TIFF file that I imported it with, I like to just do a JPEG to the desktop, and then I don't know, grass maybe. No. So I already exported this, so I'm not going to show you. I'm putting it out, but yeah, that's how it would look, and that's pretty much it. It's easy. I mean, it took me like 3 minutes to get from a flat image to this, which it saves a lot of time. I really like it, but I hope you found this helpful. And yeah, if you have any other questions, just send me a message and I'll I'll answer them. I love answering questions. So there you go.